Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. How is going? Everything is okay. Here is we have a final revision about grade 6. The first, how to draw a line equation. Here is y equal to x plus 3. First of all, you have to choose a 3 point, at least maybe 4 points as you like. And here is we can substitute by any value for x and get the value for y. We can do a table like this table, value for x and value for y. You put it any number as you like. You put it x1, x2 as you like. 3 point at least as you said before. Here is we can put x. Here is x and here is y. Put it x1 and the value 2 multiplied by 1 plus 3, 5. And put it 0. 2 multiplied by 0, 0 plus 3, 3. And put any value, negative 1, for example. 2 multiplied by negative 1, negative 2 plus 3, 1. We have to represent them. 1 and the 5. Here is 1 and the 5. Put a point like this. And the next one, here is 0 and 3, 0 and 3. It is, we do it like this, 0 and 3 up to 3. Here is the next point, negative 1 and 1, negative 1 and 1. Here is a point. We can join them. Use a ruler, okay, to join the point like this. Okay, how to graph it. Try, it is not accurate. Try to make it accurate like this. Okay, here is how to graph the point. Here is how to graph the point. You join them and you do the line. Here is how to graph it. Okay. The next question, the same way. You have to substitute like the previous one and so on. Here is I try to make it fast. Here is the table. Okay, and after do the table, take any point for x as we said before, at least 3 point. We can choose different point than me. Choose any point as you like. Here is x and here is y. Put 1 as we said. 3 multiplied by 1, 3 minus 1, 2. Put it 0. 3 multiplied by 0, 0. And the remainder negative 1. Put any number as you like. Put it any number as you like. Negative 1. Here is negative 3. Minus 1, negative 4. And I try to take a little bit easy point. Take a smallest value. Not take 100 or 1000 like it. Take a smallest value because already the graph we can represent the largest point. Here is 1 and 2. 1 and 2. Here is 1 and 2. The next one, 0 and the negative 1. 0 and the negative 1. 0 and down until to reach negative 1. And the negative 1, negative 4. Negative 1. Here is negative 1 and the negative 4. Join, here is negative 4. Join the point. We have a 3 point. Here is, yes, join them. Okay. By ruler, as we said before, can do like this. Okay. Here is the graph. The next one. The same. Next one, how to graph it. Here is, it's easy. Y equal negative 1. From y, here is y axis and here is x axis. Here is y, as we said, y. Okay, here is y and here is x. Y, where is negative 1 and y? Negative 1 and y, here is this point, negative 1. Make a line, just only. It doesn't need to make any table, just only make a line. This one. Next one, say x equal to, where is 2? 2 and x, here, make a line. Doesn't need to make a table. And he asks you about what's about intersection point. The intersection point here is intersection point. Here is, you see in the graph, 2 and -1, 2 in x, and the -1. Here is both intersection point. Here is the answer. The next one. The next one here is it's very easy. Again, charge and one-time joining fee for 50 and the monthly fee for 20. Right equation represent the total cost C for M month and graph it. Here is how to understand this way or this kind of problem. Here is to understand the type of problem. Here is we have a fixed. Here is any line can represent as y equal mx plus b. What does it mean? If you see in the graph plus b, here is if you see if you see pair mean the number multiplied by x or number multiplied by variable. Again, if we see or hear in the problem we hear pair mean that the number multiplied by x. How? Again, charge one time join. Here is one time, here is a b, here is the number then. Just only write 50. And after that, what happened? After that, here is a monthly fee. Monthly mean per month. Fee is 20. But 20 beside x or m, whatever, because the variable here is called the m, month. Here is the value, plus 50. Here is the equation. Here is the cost. Yeah. For example, if you join the gym, you have to, when you just register for the gym, you pay 50. Each month, we pay 20 per month. Here is, if you join the gym, you 2 months, you multiply 20, multiply by 2 plus 50. If you join the gym 3 months, 20 multiplied by 3 plus 50, and so on. Here is how to represent it. We can put it 0 here, just only 0. So already I can't represent it because this is small value. I put 0, 50, here is 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, and so on. Here is 10, -10, -20. Just only I put it like this. Okay, and so on. We can represent it. How to represent it? Put any value as we said, 0. If you put 0, we get it 20, and so on. If you put it 1, you get it 20 multiplied by 1, 70, and so on. Here is how to represent it. Here is 70, for example. If I will make a point 0 and 20 like this, 0, 0 and 20. And here is the next one. If you put 20 multiplied 1 month, 20 multiplied by 50, 20 multiplied by 1, 20 plus 50, 70 by 1 and 70. And if you join the club for 1 month, we will pay $70. Here is 1 and 70. Here is just only join them like this. Okay, here is just only join them. Here's and so on. We can do many point, as we said before. Here is not accurate. Here is the graph. How to represent it. The next one. The next one. If a taxi charge for fee, here is a flat fee, and a constant number. Here is a constant number already 30. The constant number here is a 3.50. And plus pair. Here is what I said before. Pair. يعني each mile we will pay $2. And here is 2x. The variable here is x, no problem. Plus fixed time is 3.50. Here is the equation. Right equation. I write the equation. Substitute by 10 2 because x is mile. 2 multiplied by 10 plus 3.5. We can calculate them and get it the answer. Here is the answer. It's gonna be what? 23. Yes, excellent. 20. The answer gonna be equal 20, 23. X. Here is, as we do it before, here is, can write it like this, y equal 2x plus 3.5. Here is the equation, y equal like this, y equal, here is the solution, 2x plus, and the answer, how to 2 multiplied by 10, 20 plus 2 multiplied by 10, 20 plus 3.5, we get it 23. The next one. The next one, the same. If you understand the first, you can solve with the same. Number 6 is the same. How to solve it? Plumber charge the same. Here is the fixed. Okay, a charge for fixed for visiting. When call the plumber, okay, when if he wanted to come to your home, you have to pay 75. After that, if you work already, you will pay 60 per hour. يبقى here is the equation, as you said before, the previous one, as you said. Here is y the same, or cost as you want, y equal, as we said before, 60 x here is the hour, or 60 hour as you like, plus 75 fixed fee. Here is, he told us that 255, here is the y. So the bill is 255, يبقى just only 255 equal 60 x, you want the number of hour plus 75, and solve the equation. How to solve it? You take this number other side, and you will subtract 200, you will make it minus 255. Okay, if you subtract them, after you subtract them, we get it 180. Okay, and 180 divided by, and here is 100, you subtract 180. Here is, if you subtract, we get it 180. Okay, here is x equal 180 divided by 60. You get the final answer, x equal 3 hours. The next one, the same previous one, the same. Here is the same phone. Here is monthly plus, here is text, here is available there, because already you just only write the solution, y, or the cost, as you said, c equal whatever, y or x. Here is a fixed 30 monthly, okay, and per text. يبقى the text here is or message is valuable. Why valuable? Because it's changed already. You send it to message, your friend send it 10 minutes. Here is a change. Here is, you can write 0.05 x plus what? Plus 30. And here is here is the equation. Okay, all of them like this. If you want write in exchange of x, you can write t for message or m for message. But here is if the x is the number of text, here is put it, the variable is x. The next one here is how to solve it. Just only you will add 3, 2, 4, because all of them x bar 2. Here is, you will do like this. Okay. Here is 3 minus 2. Here is just only 3. 3 minus 2 plus 4. 3 minus 2 is 1. 1 plus 4 is 5. And also write x power 2. Don't add the power, because already if you add 1 bottle plus 1 bottle, we can't say bottle power 2. You say leave the name. Don't add them. And the next one. Here is, we have 3y and 4y. We have to add them to get the answer. And we have negative 2x and positive 2x. You cancel because negative 2 and positive 2 cancel them. After that, here is 3 plus 4, 7, 1. Here is answer 7, 1. The next one. Here is, we have a 2 minus 4, 2 minus 4, negative 2. Here is the answer, negative 2, negative 2 e plus 4 plus 2, 6. 6. That it is the answer. The next one. The next one, here is, we have f, as we said, we have a 2f and the 4f. Here is, we can add them, 2 plus 4, here is 6, can write 6f, here is 6f, and here is, we have negative 4 plus 5, negative 1 plus 1. The next one, here is 2c and the 4c, we add them, 2 and the 4, we write 6c, and here is negative 4, and here is, by the way, we have already 6c, not only 6c, but already we have minus 5c, and here is 2, 4 is 6, 6c minus 5c, we get it 1c, and here is negative 4, put it the same, because already we don't have a similar term, minus 4. The next one. The next one, here is expand the bracket. Here is what does it mean by expand. You just only multiply. Multiply 3 inside the bracket, like this. 3 multiplied by 2 and put it x the same. Here is the answer gonna be 6x, put it 3 multiplied by 2, 6x plus 3 multiplied by 4, 12. The next one, just only multiply negative 4 multiplied by 5, negative 20. Okay, negative 20x. And here is negative 4 plus 3, negative multiplied by positive is negative 12. Here is the next one. You will, as we do the first, negative 2 multiplied by 5, negative 10 x, negative 2 multiplied by 3, negative 6y, and here is negative 2 multiplied by negative 1, positive 1. The next one, here is, we have a 2 bracket. We do 2 steps. First expand, after that collect the same term. And here is, we have, here is the first one step only, multiply. The second step, or the second problem, D letter, you will multiply. After that, we collect the same term, or like term, as you said. But here is just only multiply, here is multiply negative 4 multiplied by 5, negative 20x, and the negative 4 multiplied by positive 3, negative 12. The next 3 multiplied by 2, 6x, and here is 3 multiplied by 1, 3. Here is, we have to collect same term. How to collect? Here is, we have negative 20x plus 6x. If you add them, different sign, subtract. The negative 20 plus 6x, negative 14x. And negative 12 plus 3, different sign, subtract, negative 9. And so on. The next one. Here is the same way. Negative 2 multiplied by 3, as we do it before, just only multiply negative 6, negative multiplied by positive negative x, and the negative 2 multiplied by negative 1, positive 2. After that, 5 multiplied by 4, 5 multiplied by 4, 20x, 20x, and here is 5 multiplied by negative 2, negative 10. Here is we have to collect them. How to collect them? Just only you add the similar term as we said before. Here is negative 6 plus 20, different sign subtract as we said before. Here is 20 minus 6, it is 14. The greater sign is positive, positive 14x. And here is, we have 2 and the negative 10, different sign subtract. 10 minus 2 is 8, and the greater 10 put it the negative, negative 8. The next one, here is the final answer. Here is the next one. The next one, here is complete the table. Here is we have to discover the rule. After to discover the rule, do it. Here is in the table. Here is we multiply. You will multiply by 3, because 3 multiplied by 3, 9, 4 multiplied by 3, 12, and so 5. We have 5 multiplied by 3. We get it 15. And next one, 6 multiplied by 3, we get it 18, and so on. Here is the rule. The next one, we divided by 3. 6, how to know? 6 divided by 3, 2. 3 divided by 3, 1. 9 divided by 3, 3. And 12 divided by 3, 4. And 15 divided by 3, we get it 5, and so on. Here is the next one. Here is 5, get it 9, multiply or plus, but we can't. In the multiply, here is we can add 4. 8 becomes 12. You add 4, and here is 5. You add 4, we get it the same. Here is repeated is 9, and here is 6. Add 4, 10. And here is opposite, inverse function. We subtract 4, we get it 12. Here is how to solve that. Next one. Here is, write down the perimeter of each shape blue. Here is the perimeter. How to do the perimeter? Just add all the sides. But here is, we have a missing side. We can write it like 2y plus 1 and add them all the shape, because perimeter is the surrounding line. Y minus 1. Like this. And we add them. 2y, y, and 2y, and y. Here is, if you add them, here is 2y plus y, 3y plus 2y, 5y plus y, 6y. 6y. And here is 1, positive 1 minus 1, 0. Positive 1 minus 1, 0. Here is the final answer, 6y. The next, the same. Here is, we can do the same way, just only can do another way by the, here is we can add length plus width multiply by 2. Here is the way, another way, can do it as you like. Here is x plus 3 and 2x, we can add them and multiply by 2. Here is, we can do the same way in the previous problem, and here is 2x. We can add them. Here is a perimeter, concentrate, not area. Area multiply, perimeter add. Here is, if you add them, we get it x, 2x, 2x. Here is, if you add 6x, here is, we will write 6x. And here is, if you add 3 plus 3, we get it 6. Here is the final answer, 6x plus 6. The next one, here is the same, 3x. If you add 3x plus 3x plus 2x. Here is, if you add 3 plus 3, 6 plus 2, 8x. The next one. Here is the same. You want the distance around the edge of each this shape. You just only apply the same rule what we do before. Here is a 4 already, and here is the x. We have to add them. If you add them, x plus x, 2x, and the next one is 4 plus 4, 8. You have the final answer is 2x plus 8. The next one. The next one, here is y. All of them is y because this sign means that is equal. And here is y, here is y, here is y, y, and you have to add them, y and so on. If you add them, we get at the final answer. Here is 3y. The next one. The next one, here is x and here is y. You add x plus x to x and y plus y to y. 2x plus 2y. The next one, here is a little bit tricky. Here is a q repeated. How many times repeated? Q, and here is q, q, q. How many times? And here is q. And be the same. How many times? If you count them 1, 2, 3, 4. And be the same for also. There is b because the same b, b. If you add them, we get it 4p, 4p plus 4q. 4p plus 4q. The next one. Here is the same. Here is we have a little bit tricky or complicated. Here is 2 and here is 2. Yes. And here is also m. And here is also m. And here is also m. How many m? If you count 1, 2, 3, 4. And what's about 2? Here is 2. But what's about the missing line? Here is a problem. The missing line, how to do it? Because already we can divide the missing line into 3 parts. The first part equal the opposite. Here is m. And the second part equal the opposite 2. And here is equal m. We can count m 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You can count m is 6. Here is m is 6. And we can count to 1, 2, 3, 4. Here is 4 multiplied by 2. We get it 8. Here is the answer is 6 m plus 8 and so on. The next one, it's easy, little bit easy. Just only repeat it as we said before, y plus 3. And here is y plus 2. Here is, if you add them, y, we get it 4y. And here is 3 plus 3, 6. 2 plus 2, 4. 6 plus 4. We get it 10. The next one. The next one. Here is how to do it. M plus 2, M plus 8. Here is the same repeated as we said before. Here is M plus 8. M plus 8 and the same way. M plus 2, count M plus 2 and we add them. M, we get it 4M. And here is 4M plus 8 plus 8, 16, 2 plus 2, 4. Here is 16 plus 4, 2. The next one, here is y minus 1. Here is the same. We have a problem, missing. Here is we have a problem. Here is y minus 1, and here is x, and here is 3, and the x plus 5. How to get it the missing side? Here is, first of all, here is this part. It becomes a 3, the same. Here is the missing side. Here is the missing side. How to do it, the missing side? Here is, we subtract y minus 1 minus 3 because the missing side, here is the opposite should be equal. Y minus y, here is all of them minus y, but we have a missing 3 in this part. Y minus 1 minus 3, we get it, the part is y minus 4. If you didn't understand, you can see y minus 4 plus 3, we get it y minus 1. The next one, this part, how to get it. Already, we can see that the part, this part, equal x, this part equal the other. Where is x? Here is x. Where is x? From x plus 5, take x. Subtract x plus 5 minus x, we get it. Here is, we can add. Here is, we get it, the missing side, we can add. The next, here is, we add y, and y, we get it 2y, and so on. Here is, we have x. Here is, we have x, 1x, x plus x, we get it 2x. And next one, here is -1, -4, -5, and here is 5. Okay, you cancel them. -4 again, -1, -4, -5, and here is 5. We cancel them. Okay, here is, can cancel this, this, and this. The remainder gonna be 5. Here is, I put it 5 plus 3. Here is, you get it 8. Here is the final answer plus the next one. The next one, the same rectangle has a dimension, right expression, full area. Here is the area, you know the area. And the expression for perimeter. Area depend about multiply. You just only multiply 4, multiply by 6, and put it x the same, 24x. Here is area. First one, area. There is area. Here is area equal 24x. The perimeter. Here is the perimeter. The area is 24x. Perimeter B. B you just only add. You can do mentally. 4 plus 6x. Don't add, because 4 plus 6x we can't add. We can do, as we said before, we can put it here is 6x, and here is 4. We can add them. 6 plus 6 is 12, 12x, and here is 4 plus 4 is 8, and so on. Here is how to do it. The area and perimeter. Here is the area, and here is the perimeter. The next one, evaluate. Here is evaluate, just only you substitute by the value. And it is just only substitute by the value. You get it how to do it. And there is the value, this expression, substitute, and just only I replace it b by the value here by 2. And here is 5 multiplied by q. Here is the q is 3. 5 multiply by 3. But here is, we have to see the title, the value for p and q when you solve. 2 multiplied by 2, 4. 5 multiplied by 3, 15. 4 plus 15, we get it, the final answer equal 19. Here is the 19. The next one. Here is the next one. Here is p minus q minus r. P minus q minus r. Here is p, as we said, p is 2 minus q is 3 minus r is 5. And you can get it, the final answer. 2 minus 3 is -1, -1 minus 5, -6. Here is the final answer. The next one. Here is 2. Here is 3 multiply 3 multiply here is b minus q minus r. Here is you substitute 2 minus 3 minus 5. You get it, -6. And the next one, you multiply 3 multiplied by 2 plus 2 multiplied by 3. Just only replace the value in the question. Look at it, 12. And here is P multiplied by Q, 2 multiplied by 3, 6. 5 divided by 5, 1. 6 plus 1, 7. The next one, you have to multiply 2 multiplied by 3 multiplied by 5. We get it 2 multiplied by 3, 6 multiplied by 5, 30. 30 divided by 10, we get it 3. 30 divided by 10, 3. 3 minus 1, because already 5 divided by 5, we get it 1. If here is 3 minus 1, because we cancel 0 and 0. 3 minus 1, we get it 2. Here is the value how to solve it. The next one, here is, it depends about one only idea. Here is about perimeter and area. Here is perimeter, as we said, we add and multiply by 2, 3, but before we add, concentrate that the same unit here is centimeter and here is 2 centimeter. We can to add and multiply by 2. Yani here is 2 length plus width multiplied by 2, 3 plus 2, 5. Here is perimeter, concentrate, multiply by 2. Here is we get it 10. The next one, here is centimeter and meter. We change centimeter to meter divided by 100 like this. If you cancel, we can cancel 2 0 and 2 0. Here is, we get it 2 meter. And use meter and centimeter, and here is 3 and 2 meter. We can add them like the previous one, multiply by 2. Here is just only, we get it 10. The previous one the same, but here is different unit. Here is 10, and don't forget to put the unit. Here is 10 meter, and the previous one 10 centimeter. The next one here is the same idea. The perimeter here is a decimal. Don't care about the decimal, just only add and multiply by 2. You have to add 3.2 plus 2.8. If you add them, we get it 6. 6 multiplied by 2. We get it 12. As we said, here is centimeter and centimeter, no problem. We get it 12. The next one, here is the next one here, 19. I'll calculate the area of rectangle length. Here is the area, not perimeter. We have multiply. How to multiply? Multiply 32 multiplied by 18, like this. Don't care about the decimal point. Multiply without decimal point. 8 multiplied by 2, 16, up 1. 3 multiplied by 8 equal 24 plus 1, 25. And here is, I put 0. 1 multiplied by 2, we get it 2. 1 multiplied by 3, we get it 3. We have to add 6, and there is 7, and here is 5. You add them. And what's about the decimal point? Here is after 1 digit. After 1 digit, add a decimal place. If here is after 2 digit, 1, 2, here is the final answer, 5.76 centimeter square, and so on. The next one, here is we calculate the area of triangle with the length 1.2 meter and width 8 centimeter. We have to change meter to centimeter, multiply by 100. We get it 120. 120 multiplied by 80, put it 20, and multiply 8 multiply by 12, we get it 96. The same 21. Calculate the area of rectangle with the length 0.8 and the width 40. We have to change length from meter to centimeter, multiply by 100, get 80. And here is 80 multiplied by 40, put to 0, and 8 multiplied by 4, we get it 32. The next one, number 22. 2. Here is another thought or idea. Here is which of these lines passing through the point 1 and 4. Here is how to do it. Just only substitute by x. If you get the value 4, it's passing through. If you didn't get the value 4, not passing through. Yeah, how? Here is if I put 1. 1 plus 1, we get it 2. يبقى not passing. Here is not correct. The next one, here is put 1. 1 minus 3, we get it the negative 2, not passing also. The next one, here is no. The next one, 4 multiply by 1, we get it 4. Yes, here is passing through. Here is this one. And next one, here is y already equal 4. يبقى passing through the point 1 and the 4. The next one. 23, the same. 2, you put it 2. If you get it 3, it's passing through. 2 plus 1, 3. Yes, passing through. Here is if you put 2, negative 2 minus 1, negative 3, not passing. 2 multiplied by 2, 4, not passing. Y already equal 3. Here is the next one, 24, which passing negative 1. If you put negative 1, you get it y equal x, يعني negative 1, not passing. Here is y equal negative x. Here is put negative 1, negative multiply by negative positive. Here is passing through. Yes, because already we changed the sign of x. X is negative 1, we get it 1. Here is 2 multiplied by 1, get it 2, no. Here is negative 1 plus 1, 0, no. Number 25, which of this line? The same, put it 4. 4 minus 2, we get it 2. Excellent. 4 minus 3, get it 1, no. 0.5, half of 4 is 2, passing through. And here is 2 multiplied by 4, 8 minus 6, we get it 2. Here is we have a 3 line passing through. The next one. Here is if a rectangle has an area, how and the width of 6, what is the length? So we get it the length, the area equal length multiplied by width. Length multiplied by width. Here is L multiplied by W. Just only I give it you the area and you want to find the length. Just only divided by 6 goes divided by 6. We get the answer 12 divided by 6, we get a 3. And put the k the same. 12 divided by 6, we get it 2. And put the k. And here is 18 divided by 6, we get it 3. Here is how to solve this. The next one. Here is a rectangle 27 with the dimension. Dimension mean length and width. And the same area of triangle has 8. Here is a dimension. Here is 4, the area. 4 multiplied by 3w plus 1. Here is the product. Plus 1 equal half triangle. The area of triangle, because the area of triangle may be sometimes equal the area of rectangle. Here is half multiply by base. In base, I don't know the base, the base or x, whatever, multiply by height 8, and so on. Here is half, 8 is 4. And he tell us what is the base. Here is, that is, here that is 4 multiplied by 3w plus 1. Here is, you see that 4 multiplied by what? The base, you get it 4 multiplied by 3w plus 1. Here is 4. 4 the same. You must know that is b equal this one, because already equal side. Here is 4 and here is 4. You must you must know that if you have an equal side, maybe the element of the left hand side equal the element of right hand side. Here is 4 and here is 4. يبقى b base equal what? Equal 3w plus 1. It is how to solve this type of question. The next one. Here is already we solved it. Next one, here is the same. You have to multiply expression for area, the following you have to multiply like this, y multiply by y, just only area length multiply y multiply by y, you get it y power 2, and the negative 2 multiply by y, you get it negative 2y. Here is you multiply x multiply by x, we get it x power 2, and here is 2 multiplied by x, we get it 2x. The next one, here is 4 multiplied by a, we get it 4a, and the 3 multiplied by 4, we get it 12. 4a plus 12. Here is the next one, 8, I will multiply 8 multiplied by m over 4. How to multiply them? Just only divided 8 divided by 4, we get it 2m. And we will multiply 6 multiplied by 8, we get it 48. Here is how to solve this one. Here is how to solve it. Just only multiply by 8. Here is 4 down. You have to divide it. Here is the answer. The last question, the same. You know, here is a rectangle. Here is a rectangle. Has the same area of triangle. Here is we have to multiply 3, multiply by 10 y plus 4. And here is half multiply by h multiply by base. Here is the base is 5. And here is, he said that the base is 5y plus 2. Here is 5y plus 2. Here is, we can compare the two sides to get it, the value for it. Here is 3 multiply 3, 3 multiply by 10, and the 3 multiply by 4. We can do in another way. Here is 3 multiplied by 10, you will get a 30 y. You get a 30 y. Here is 30 y, and 3 multiplied by 4, 12. Here is which the number? Take it the half and multiply by 5, get it 30. We can compare like this. Maybe it's complicated. Yeah. If we put 6 divided by 2, 3 multiplied by 5, 3 multiplied by 5, 15. We can double the 6. Here is 12. How to know? Another way, because already الhalf of 2 is 1. 1 multiplied by h, we get it 12. The h is gonna be 12, like this. We can do in many ways. We can do another way. I'll explain it another way. I can take it 2 as a common, يعني divided by 2 and divided by 2. I put it up. Here is instead of 3, I put a 6. Already the same. Here is 5y plus 2. Here is the same. Here is 5y plus 2, and here is 5y plus 2. Cancel them. Half h equals 6. Which the number can take the half, get a 6, 12. H equal 12. And how to solve this one. Okay. Thank you for watching, and sorry that maybe the video is too long, but I try to explain fast, but the worksheet maybe contain many thoughts. First of all, maybe this is the last one, the last video. Can you watch it? And maybe the last year for teach you. Thank you for everything. Thank you for learning. Thank you for hard work. And maybe, inshallah, maybe you can see it in the next and maybe you can see you in the next time in any place. Keep in touch. We thank you again. Forgive me if you do any mistake. We thank you. Try to join our channel, connect us, and thank you again.